have to use nothing else. He don't have to come with some invention that you never heard of. He can just use the elements that's already here to put a hurting on man. So he using stuff that's there. He just sent some flies. Then he turned around and gave the cattle disease. He turned around and gave everybody boils in Egypt. Then he turned around and brought hail. Now he's sending swarms of locusts like they have never seen. Go ahead. Exodus 10 and what verse? 14?
15.
15. Go ahead.
For they covered the face of the whole earth, so that the land was darkened. And they did eat every herb of the land, all the fruit of the trees which the hail had left. And there remained not any green thing in the trees or in the herbs of the field through all the land of Egypt.
See, you heard of the saying, is one thing after another? Well, that's what the Lord doing to Pharaoh. Now Pharaoh is at the point, he keep going back on it. He keeps saying, okay, because he know if he plead with Moses, it's going to stop. But he don't have enough sense to know, it's going to be something else. It's going to get worse. Yeah, it's going to stop, but something else going to come. So he think he playing a game. He said, okay, pray. Forgive me, Moses, forgive me. And I'm going to let y'all go. Then when Moses prayed to the Lord and the plague stopped, Pharaoh, skip y'all. Hey, let y'all go nowhere. So that just bring on the next plague. So he don't know who he dealing with. But now, verse 21. Skip down to verse 21 because that's the fifth one. The locust came. Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt.
Oh, here go the sixth one right here. What is it? Just straight darkness. The Lord going to make it totally dark. Dark like you ain't never seen. See, this lets you know the moon do serve a purpose. The sun is the greater light, right? And it light for us for the day, right? But in the night, we still got some light, right? It is some light. I mean, you can go outside, there's some light somewhere. So it's not just totally dark where you can't see nothing. But the Lord can make it like that. So that's what he did right here. He said at verse 21, he told Moses to stretch his hand out and out toward heaven, and there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt. That's some thick darkness, isn't it? He said it's so dark you can feel it. That's dark. Verse 22.
And Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days.
For 3 days, it was dark like this. You know, wasn't nobody moving. Just like that snow came in Philadelphia. I talked to Sister Mildred this morning. She said, there's nobody outside. Nobody outside. The Lord can shut it down. But go ahead.
They saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days.
For 3 days, they didn't see nobody. And they didn't even bother to go out of their place. Go ahead.
But all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings.
Israel over there chilling, wasn't it? They had light in their dwellings. The Lord steady making that distinction, right? You say, well, what this all got to do with Jesus being a prophet like Moses? You getting ready to find out, and the world getting ready to find out. Because he's going to make the same thing happen to the whole world. But now, skip down to the 11th chapter of Exodus, 11 and 1. Exodus 11 and verse 1. Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Moses, Yet will I bring one plague more upon Pharaoh.
Oh, so he even called them plagues, don't he? And we just saw 6 so far that came and didn't affect nobody else. Like I said, he turned the water to blood. That was just a preliminary stuff. This is when it got hot and heavy and when he started distinguishing between Israel and the Egyptians. We saw 6. We saw the flies. We saw the cattle getting killed. We saw the bulls. We saw the hail. We saw the locusts. And we just got through seeing the darkness, right? So here in Exodus 11 and 1, he said, the Lord said unto Moses, Yet will I bring one plague more upon Pharaoh. He said, I got one more for him, Moses. This is it. This is the granddaddy of them all. He gonna let you go when I do this to him. And upon Egypt, afterwards what?
Afterwards, he will let you go hence.
Oh, he's going to let you go now. See, the Lord was just building up to the big bang. And he say, afterwards he will let you go hence. Go ahead.
When he shall let you go, he shall surely thrust you out.
And he going to want you to go quick too. He going to want you to go immediately. So he was getting Moses ready. Look now, you get prepared now. Because when he wants you, he going to want you to go right away because they're going to be scared to death. All the Egyptians said, we dead men. Please leave. Get out of here. Okay, now skip down to verse 4 and see what happened.
Did you want me to finish that?
You finished verse 1?
He shall surely thrust you out hence altogether.
Verse 4.
And Moses said, thus saith the Lord, about midnight will I go out into the midst of Egypt, and all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die.
Oh, that's that last one. He said, look, I'm going to hit him real hard, Moses. And Moses is telling Pharaoh, thus said the Lord, around midnight. He even told him what time he going to do it. He said, around midnight, I will go out into the midst of Egypt, and all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die. That's a heavy burden to have to bear. Every firstborn. Because he told him in the beginning, he said, let my son Israel go, because Israel is God's firstborn. He's the firstborn to God from all the nations. That shows you he going to bring people from all other nations too, if Israel got to be the firstborn. That means he got some more born. So that means some Greeks, Italians, all of them going to have to come too, right? Because Israel is his firstborn. But he told Pharaoh, let Israel, my son, go, my firstborn, or else I'm going to kill your firstborn, Pharaoh. So we at that point now. Go ahead.
And all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sitteth upon his throne, even unto the firstborn of the maidservant that is behind the mill, and all the firstborn of beasts.
See, he said nobody gonna get a break either. Even if you high and rich and sitting on the throne, including you, Pharaoh, your firstborn is gonna die, and even if you just a servant, your firstborn gonna die. The only way your firstborn wasn't gonna die if you was an Egyptian or any other nationality, unless you followed the instructions that God gave to Israel. See, Israel got the clue. They got the answer. They got the key. That's why they ain't suffering at all. See, the Lord still worked to Israel through to this day. That's why it's important for people to know who Israel is. And it's not the people who we think they are that's call themselves Jews. We know Israel is black and cursed, all over the world enslaved. But that's about to be changed, because the Lord going to bring the same message to the world, let my people go, or else. And that's what's going to happen. It's going to be identical. But see, they don't know that's Jesus' mission. Didn't Jesus say he was sent only to the lost sheep of Israel?
That's right.
So he going to complete it just like Moses completed it. But now, he said all the firstborn from Pharaoh to the woman, to the maid servant that is behind the mill, and all the firstborn of beasts. Okay, Exodus 11 and 6. Go ahead.
And there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Egypt, such as there was none like it, nor shall be like it anymore.
Oh, it's going to be a cry. Can you imagine that? Go ahead, verse 7.
But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue.
Well, that's special, isn't it? He said it's going to be a great cry in all the land of Egypt, but I tell you, against the children of Israel, a dog not going to move his tongue. Nothing going to happen to him. Because they straight. They basically got the protection of the Almighty. They sealed. Go ahead.
Against man or beast.
Against Israel, man or their beasts, their animals. Go ahead.
That ye may know how that the Lord does put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
He said, you going to know the difference now. You're going to know I'm putting a difference. Let's go to Exodus 12